Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
And welcome to our temple. I want to say a special welcome to our 6th grade students and teachers. The students have been studying all year about the Holocaust and have been working hard to be able to lead the service tonight. So thank you in advance for doing a marvelous job, and thank you for the teachers who've been working with them all year and still have a few more weeks to work with the class. I also want to acknowledge my friend and colleague, our Rabbi Emeritus, Rabbi Rapport, who has been teaching the 6th grade Holocaust class for the past 120 years. And we're still using the curriculum that you wrote for the class, and the service tonight, except for some of the art, should look familiar to you because you prepped this service. So thank you for all the great job you did, and welcome to your students from Bellarmine. We begin our service at page 2 as we sing together Eli Eli by Hanat Senesh, the Israeli paratrooper who jumped into Hungary and was murdered by the Nazis.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
And this Shabbat, we are doing also anniversary blessings. If there's anybody here that is celebrate their wedding anniversary in the month of April. Anyone? Apparently, no. So we will move on to page 4. Please rise for the Baruch. Ask them, please.
Baruch et Adonai Hambara, Baruch Adonai Hambara, Leolam Vaed. Praise be the one to whom praise is due. Praise the one to whom praise is due, now and forever.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro ma'ariv arvim b'chokma potea sherim uvitvuna mishanech itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hachochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshe v'hochshe mipnei or Uma'avir yom umevi laila umavdil bein yom uvein laila Adonai Sevaot Shmo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Imloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Arvim.
Let a new light shine on our people. May the survivors of Shoah find peace, no longer plagued by nightmares, and may their children and their children's children live without fear, knowing freedom and contentment. We praise you, Adonai our God, the one who renews creation daily, the one who makes the sun to rise and become a veil of gold.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Oh, am I supposed to say it?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'elech asher Anohi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bevetecha uv'lechtecha baderech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha Ukchavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Laman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohehem Ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohehem.
Page 5. And you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all his words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
You who live safe in your warm houses, you who find returning in the evening hot food and friendly faces, consider whether this is a man who labors in the mud, who knows no peace, who fights for a crust of bread, who dies at a yes or no. Consider whether this is a woman without hair or a name, with no more strength to remember eyes empty and womb cold as a frog in winter. Consider that this has happened. I commend these words to you. Engrave them on your hearts when you are in your house, when you walk on your way, when you go to bed, when you rise. Repeat them to your children. Or may your house crumble, disease render you powerless, your children turn their faces from you.
We're at page 6 in the middle with the Torah of Truth.
God, you gave us God, you gave us the Torah to show us that you love us. May it always be a friend at our side. The Torah is our teacher. It tells us what is right and what is wrong. It shows us how to live good lives. Be with us always when we study Torah. Be with us always when we try to live good lives. We praise you, Eternal One, who gave us the Jewish people the Torah. It is your special gift to us. It is the gift of your love.
During the Holocaust, 3 scholars put God on trial. They felt God was wrong, but after they said it, they all began to pray. To God, maybe for God.
And what is my lifespan? I'm like one who has gone out of Egypt. The Red Sea parts, I cross on dry land. 2 walls of water, on my right and on my left. Pharaoh's army and his horsemen behind me. Before me the desert, perhaps the promised land too. This is my lifespan.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, malchutecha Adonai imloch am va'ed, Adonai imloch ve'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch ve'olam va'ed.
You are with us at all times, God, when we sleep and when we wake. When it is dark, we turn to you for light. When we are afraid, we turn to you for courage. When we feel weak, we turn to you for strength. Be with us tonight and always. Help us to know you are there. Paul?
Never shall I forget that night, the first night in the camp, which has turned my life into one long night, 7 times cursed and 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the little faces of the children whose bodies I saw turned to wreaths of smoke beneath the silent blue sky. Never shall I forget those flames which consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget these things, even if I'm condemned to live as long as God. Never.
And we rise as we turn to page 8 for the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoher Hasdei, Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula, Livnei V'Nehem, Lama'an Shemo V'Ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Be'ezrat Sarah.
Some perished by fire, some by water. Some crossed the sea or watered the desert. Some starved all week to make a Shabbat feast. Some were left childless until old age. Some lifted their chins beneath the Father's knife. Those who came before us gave everything, so that we, generations later, could glorify you.
And despite the dangers with your protection, some did survive and even flourished. Some reaped in joy where some spared the knife, were granted children. We are the inheritors, O God, and we know how rare is our good fortune to be born with such hard-won treasures.
A great responsibility is ours, and yours as well. For if you do not sustain us, as you did Abraham and Sarah, Rebekah and Isaac, Jacob, Rachel and Leah, then who will sing your praises?
Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav lechoshia, Mechalkel hayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol, Berachamim rabim, Somech noflim, Berofe cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishene afar, Mi chamocha baal gevurot, Umi domech lach melech memit, Umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lechachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai Mechaye hakol. Dear God of holiness, remember those in ghettos and death camps who knew that life was holy and did simple acts of kindness.
Ilse, a childhood friend of mine, once found a raspberry in the camp and carried it in her pocket all day to present to me that night on a leaf. Imagine a world in which your entire possession is one raspberry and you give it to your friend.
I look up at the sky and see stars, of hope and happiness. I remind myself that freedom is coming soon. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated as we turn to page 10 for the prayer for peace.
Words there are and prayers, but justice there is not, nor yet peace.
The
prophet said, in the
end of days, God shall judge between nations.
They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Although we must wait for judgment, we may not wait for peace to fall like rain upon us.
The teacher said, those who have made peace in their houses,
is bestowed, they have brought peace to Israel, indeed to all the world. Peace will remain a distant vision until we do the work of peace ourselves. If peace is brought into the world, we must bring it into our families and communities.
But not content to make peace in your own household.
Go forth and work for peace whenever men are struggling. Okay.
Shalom Rav O Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav O Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav O Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav O Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'chov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
invite Aaron Fouts to play for us from Schindler List theme.
The last, the very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow. Perhaps if the sun's tears could sing against a white stone, such a yellow is carried lightly way up high. It went away, and I'm sure because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. For 7 weeks I've lived here, penned up inside this ghetto, but I have found what I love here. The dandelions call to me and the white chestnut branches in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live here in the ghetto.
The very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow. Perhaps if
turn to page 11 for the Misha Berach, a prayer for healing. We name in our hearts those that we know that need courage and healing and strength in their lives. And in this difficult week, where we were all shocked by the mass shooting at our beautiful city, Louisville, we name in our hearts the victims, their families, the wounded who are still struggling, as we sing together Misha Berach.
With refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Hello everyone, my name is Judah Gladstein. I'm talk to you today about the Holocaust. It is just as important to learn about the Holocaust now, over 75 years after it ended, as it has been for all of the decades since. Every person should become educated about the Holocaust because it is one of the most important historical events to happen in the history and change the course of history for the Jewish people. One reason why it's important to continue to learn about the Holocaust is because we want to ensure that it doesn't happen again. By learning about it, we like we do in the 6th grade religious school program, we become aware of how easy it is for one group of people to become executed. Hopefully, by learning about it, we can make sure that it doesn't happen again. Another reason why it's important to continue to learn about the Holocaust is because the survivors of the Holocaust are dying from old age. If we let their stories die with them, we will stop the future generations from learning about the atrocities that happened. Pretty soon, all survivors will no longer be living, and it's important that we continue to share their stories once they are gone. A third reason why it's important to continue to learn about the Holocaust is because it allows us to see how and what happened to the Jewish people that is still happening to other groups of people. Minorities all over the world are executed. It is our job as Jewish people to make sure that the Holocaust does not happen to other groups of people. As a young Jewish person, I take it as my responsibility to make sure that I understand what the Holocaust was about and how it was affected all the people in my religion. I'm glad that I know about it, and I know that it will help make sure that the future generations will know about it too.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Judah, for sharing with us your experience learning this year about the Holocaust. In the state of Israel, there is a very special Shabbat. It's actually not doing Holocaust Memorial Day. It's between Holocaust Memorial Day and Israel Independence Day. And it's called Shabbat of Rebirth or Shabbat of Resurrection. It depends how you translate the Hebrew name. And it fits actually our needs, the needs of our sixth graders, the needs of everyone here, all the different ages, much more than Holocaust Memorial Day, because we live in a different generation. Most of us were not here during the Holocaust, but all of us are here living to see how the Jewish people, how the people of Israel overcame the Holocaust. So we are in the generation of rebirth. If you think of the atrocities and the terrible tragedy that happened to us during the Holocaust, you think about many things. But first things that come to mind is the horrible physical damage. A third of all Jews in the world were murdered in a very short time. 2/3 of European Jewry, the most creative part of Jewish life at that time, was perished because of the Nazis. You think of other things. You think of the loss of dignity of a people that felt that we cannot defend ourselves in the world. You think of the loss of trust in other nations and the feeling that maybe we can never again live among non-Jews because we can never again really trust them. And then you think also about the breach of trust between us and Adonai our God, because we see in our 2,000 or 3,000 years of history of faith and spirituality the strong belief that there's a special covenant between God and the people of Israel. And all of a sudden, that feeling during the Holocaust that was breached. My teacher of the history of the Holocaust, Dov Kulka of blessed memory, who was a Holocaust survivor who went through Auschwitz, used to say to us every year that the Jews received the Torah at Sinai from God and gave it back to God at Auschwitz. That was the feeling of his generation, that there is no place for spirituality and belief in God and belief in the covenant between Israel and God in their lives. But a miracle happened, and the Jewish people have overcome all those terrible things that happened to us. When you think about the physical atrocities, we now have our own Jewish state flourishing. When you think about Jewish creativity, at least in 2 huge centers of Jews, in North America and in Israel, we see creativity like never before. We can actually say that we are living in the best time for Jews in our entire history. When you look at our bima, not this one, but the one in the sanctuary, and you see the flag of Israel together with the American flag, you know that Jews overcome the fear of living with other people, that we can live among non-Jews and feel secure. And when you think about the loss of dignity and the feeling of being totally powerless, if there's anything that is said about Israel or even about Jews here in North America, it is that we are too powerful. If there are blames on Israel right now, it's because maybe of excessive power, but not of being powerless. Israel, thank God, has one of the strongest and most powerful armies in the world. And here in America, Jewish institutions are very powerful. And when you think of the Nazis' attack on Jewish faith and Jewish belief, probably never in our history there was such a flourishing when it comes to Jewish spirituality and Jewish faith. More than 90% of American Jews say that they are proud to be Jewish. They are proud of their faith. And at every Pew survey in the last few decades, Judaism is the most admired religion in North America. It is unbelievable how we overcame the tragedy of the Holocaust. And maybe it's time to look at a lesson from our Torah. The most important story in our Torah is the Exodus from Egypt. And look how the Torah tells the story. There are 4 books about the Exodus from Egypt. Only 12 chapters about being enslaved, being oppressed, being under tyranny. And then 3 books and 30-something chapters in the book of Exodus are about redemption and how we left Egypt and how we overcame the atrocities of Egypt. We should shift teaching the Holocaust, talking about the Holocaust, learning the lessons of the Holocaust, from focusing on what happened between 1933 to 1945, as important as it is, to the fact that we are now with the identity, with the Jewish identity of the people who overcame the Holocaust. And thank God that that is the situation, and thank God that that is the lesson that we can teach our newer generations. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And we go now to page 11. I want to invite Aspen and Ellie to read to us at the bottom of page 11.
In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. I simply can't build up my hopes on a foundation consisting of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the ever-approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I can feel the sufferings of millions, and yet, if I look up into the heavens, I think that it will all come right, that this cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again. Bayom hayu yiyeh Adonai echad ushmo echad. On that day, Adonai shall be one, and God's name will be one.
Words echoed in this inscription of hope from our choir, written by Randall Stroop, that quotes a Russian folk tune. I believe in the sun, even when it is not shining, and I believe in love, even when there's no one there, and I believe in God, even when God is silent. I believe through any trial there someday be sunshine. May there someday be happiness. May there someday be love. May there someday be peace.
We turn to page 12 for the memorial prayer. Please rise. We'll take a moment for a silent remembrance of loved ones and people that were lost during the Holocaust and during other tragical events. Just want to say first.
Fully compassionate to God on high, to our 6 million brothers and sisters murdered because they were Jews, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold them in your embrace of your wings, secure their souls in eternity. Adonai, they are yours. May they rest in peace. Amen.
Please be seated. We turn to page 13. There are stars. There are stars up above, so far away. We only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Jose Maza, Henry Berg Brousseau, David Sean Bailey, Evelyn Levy, Carol Margulis, Margaret Mosezon, Alan Planck, Sylvia Weingarten, Loretta Goldstein, Rick Haskell, Leonard Marks, Marcus Breyer, Kenneth Grossman, Gladys Flyshaker Meyer, Benjamin Mosier, Julia Penso, Thelma Weiss, Goodman Tasman, Richard Uslander, Carl N. Bazi Victor Jr., Felix Weingarten, Michael Harry Brody, Libby Price, Miriam Weinstein, Irma Bloom, M. Carl Fink Sr., Bess Stiebel, Jim Gold, Lily Harry Steinhardt, Richard Harvey, Louis Katz, David L. Prussian, Ressi Voss, and in recent days, Howard Levine. And for recent acts of terror in our first city, Louisville, Tommy Elliott, Jim Tutt, Josh Berrick, Juliana Farmer, and Diana Ekret. And for recent acts of terror in the state of Israel, Maya D., Rina D., Lucy D., and Alessandro Parini. We rise now as we turn to page 13 to read together the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved among us, and let us say amen.
Amen.
Please be seated.
Major thanks to their teacher, Rabbi David, and the amazing team of assistants that have taught and supported this class all year. Ben Norton, Nicole Skiowitz, Ezra Fouts, Henry Hasselbacher, Violetta Higuera, David Labor, Eli Rothman, and Mark Zilberman. You all are an amazing team. We are grateful for the very generous donation in support of the beautiful and meaningful Judaica gifts our students receive when they have their grade level service, and for your support of our Passover candy sale. You will all be receiving a beautiful yad that we know will come in handy as you all become b'nai mitzvah over the course of the next year or so. I'm going to now ask all of the students to come up, and can I have, let me just pick 2 assistants, you can self-select, to come up and help hand out the handout. I didn't mean that. Handout, God. You're welcome, come on up.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Ben and Henry, helping her. We are now turning to page 14 for our closing song, Ani Ma'amin.
Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Ani Ma'amin, Ani
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you all who led the service. Thank you to Shir Chadash, who sang so beautifully and sings here every month. And thank you for everyone. Please join us at the Oneg outside, prepared by the wonderful women of Reform Judaism. And please say Shabbat Shalom to at least one person you never met before. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.